Katie Joy on Instagram posts her truth like a telegram. Words fly quick, she doesn't think. Next thing you know, they're gone in a blink. Katie states what she sees. Lies turn facts with such ease. Delete, delete, can't keep up. Lawsuits come, filling her cup. Oh, Katie Joy, you're on repeat. Post and delete, post and delete. Living in the moment's thrill till the lawyers send the bill. Screenshot saved in the night. People see it in plain sight. No escape from what's done. The internet has just begun. Katie Joy in the spotlight's glare, trying to hide, but we're aware. Fame's a ghost you can't chase back. Erase the past, but it's your track. Oh, Katie Joy, you're on repeat. Post and delete, post and delete. Living in the moment's thrill till the lawyers send the bill.
There. Is it just the three of us? Hey, Ginger. Hey, Mr. Black Wolf. Is it just us? I never go live anymore. And I'm like, oh, I'll go live. And then, you know, we'll see. We'll let people come on in. But good to see you. Hey, Lulu B. Good to see you. KB, you're here. Who else is here? Oh, well, they're all coming in now. J. Marie, Whimsical Mistakes. Christine. Hey, Renelle. Hey, Tina. All right. So we're just going to chat. Hey, Zuna. We're just going to chat it up today, y'all, because anytime I try to like focus on something like a document, if we're going to talk about something, I just, hey, Wolfie, I go all over the place. You know, we know, I know this, y'all. I admit it. I'm a squirrel. Like, I cannot keep focus on certain things. But if I'm here just chatting and we're just talking about whatever, I do okay. But if I start trying to like focus on something and read it, I'm all over the place. And I get it. I admit it too. Like, I get it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to correct that. So we'll just chat today. There's quite a few things we have to talk about. Nothing important, clearly, because it's just Katie. But you know, holidays and everything. Y'all ready for the holidays? And I did see that somebody else was going live right before I did. So I have a feeling a lot of the people are over there right now. Hey, you, Better with the Irish. Good to see you. So, yeah, I figured that we'd probably be a little bit light right now. Plus holidays, all that. And just because, you know, I never go live. But are y'all ready? For those of you that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. To those that don't, Happy Holidays. Hope you enjoy the season and everything that you do when you celebrate. Hey, Brianna. Hey, Miranda. Happy holidays to you too. Yeah, it's pretty warm here. We had like this cold front come through and it was like, oh, you know, you're going to freeze overnight, and literally, you know, turning the heaters on, doing all that. And then next thing you know, like 3 days later, we're having to turn the air back on. And right now it's just kind of, we just have a lot of humidity, which is just so gross about Texas, you know. It's 15 degrees there. Holy, see, I wouldn't even know what to do with myself, you know. And like, so part of what we're going to talk about is Katie Joy has been on TikTok she went live the last 2 nights, and y'all, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. She's just absolutely ridiculous. And like part of it was she was saying that she lives in the coldest place pretty much in the world, and that it doesn't get any colder, and how people that live in trailers are trash, and that you know, that there are no like modular, single wide, double wide, you know, no trailers, as she put them, in Minnesota because, you know, it gets too cold there. All this other ridiculousness. So I was thinking about cold weather because I was listening to that earlier, and I was just like, gosh, what? She's just such a pain in the ass. She's just, God, she's terrible. But I remember thinking too, I know where she lives is cold. I couldn't handle it. I admit it. I couldn't handle it. Not like she leaves the house anyways. What is the temperature right now, Zuna? I actually booked, I got ahead of the game and started to book our trip to the UK for next Christmas. Where I decided myself, no, my husband and I both did. We were going to do it this year, but we decided to give it another year to where we're going to spend Christmas in the UK next year. So I actually started looking at all the places and I'll start booking everything. It's too early to book the airfare yet, but yeah, she is a wicked witch of the north. So I'm like, gosh, I've only been to the UK in the summer months. I've been there in the spring and I've been there in October, but I haven't. Oh no, I've been there in February. So I know it's hit or miss too, because like right now, there's times where we've actually had ice and everything, but we don't have anything right now. She is so stupid, Wolfie. It's just like everything about her. If y'all are talking about Katie, which I'm assuming. My husband's from Minnesota. He grew up next to her little small town, and they have see. And in one breath, whimsical, she says, there are trailers. She said there's a trailer park next to my son's school. 44 degrees Celsius, Fahrenheit. That'd have to be Fahrenheit, right? Okay, yeah, it's Fahrenheit. I was going to say, whoa, that's warm. Oh, yeah, we go to the UK a lot. I just haven't been there over Christmas. So she says in one breath, yeah, there's a trailer park right next to my son's school type thing. And then like literally a minute later, she's like, there are no homes like that here because they can't survive because of the winds and the weather. And you have to have basements. I'm thinking, do you really think that every individual is able to afford a home with a basement? Yeah, 7 degrees Celsius. That's pretty warm for that's pretty warm for right now, isn't it? So she's sitting there saying that you can't have trailers or modular homes in the UK. She would have said that too. Let's just be honest. She said you can't. And then she's like, and then people in the chat, of course, are like, yeah, there are some really nice trailers. And the ones they're making now are unbelievable. And there's trailer trash that live in regular homes, maybe even with a basement, Katie Joy. Yeah, you don't have to be. And that's kind of, I mean, wait till you see what she said about B-Dash. That's one reason why I decided to go live. And Renelle, if you're still in here, I know that this threw Renelle, and it made us both so angry. It's like, just leave the dude alone, man. Stop with your racism. Stop with your bullying. Stop with your, insults. Yeah, she does need to see how humans live. God, she's awful. Yeah, I mean, everywhere. And I mean, I've traveled a lot and I've seen single wide homes, modular homes, right? Trailer, whatever you want to call them, trailers, whatever you want to call them. Exactly. Wolfie, KJ is proof that trailer trash lives in big homes with a basement. I mean, she literally said, you have to have a basement here. And, because it gets so cold. I know people in Texas would love to have basements. We would. We can't. Soil, everything. We're too close. I mean, we can't. It's where you live, Katie Joy. And it proves, y'all, she is ridiculous. What it proves is that she is stuck in this tiny little bubble that she cannot venture out from. Like, she cannot accept that there are other cultures, other states in the United States, that just everything is different in this world, that people are different. She cannot, it has to be, and the one thing that she does in her chats, I mean, when was live, and this is, what she was doing the other night, is she'll ask a question to her panel. She is an elitist. They'll ask a question she'll ask her panel a question and they answer it. And then she's like, no. And then she corrects them. It's like, well, why do you even ask them? So then they got real quiet. Right. Merry Christmas to you, Mama Celeste. Then it got super quiet, right? Then she's like, well, this is why I don't like to do it like this. The panel. Y'all aren't talking. They're like, because we didn't want to interrupt you. They're scared shitless of her, y'all. I mean, even though they support her like they do, they're terrified of her. They were like, well, we didn't want to interrupt you. And she's like, yeah, well, I wasn't talking, type thing. And they said, well, we were reading the chat. Because you don't need to read the chat. Why are you reading the chat? Don't read the chat. Why do you go live? So people can interact, so we can have a chat. It gets, oh God, below zero. Oh, I can't imagine. Some places don't have a basement. Yeah. I had family up north. Some had basements. The majority of them did. And I had family members that didn't. Southeast Georgia, no basements, lots of mobile homes, and lots of, I mean, you know, I was telling someone earlier, they do, Renelle, you know, see here, look, even when I say I'm just going to chat, I still go all over the place. So just deal with the squirrel. I am. My husband calls me a squirrel because I'll literally be in a conversation with him and then I'll just switch. And he's like, can you finish? No, I can't. I just can't. I can't. See, now, but they act like they're in the company of, you know, celebrity. It's wild. And then she's like, well, just don't read the chat. And then they get all nervous. Like, well, okay. And then they start answering her questions because they're terrified. It's like a kid that's scared of their mom. It's, you know, and I was saying to someone earlier, I was like, you know, I don't care about money. I don't care where you live. I don't care what you do. If you have respect, Katie Joy, you can sit here. Oh, another thing she said too, y'all, she said the other day is that, you know, she likes to brag about how she has money and, you know, all this and that. Oh, well, she makes the money. We know how she makes money by insulting people and stalking people and doing weird shit, right? But she did admit the other day that she paid $12,000 last month to her attorneys for this lawsuit. And again, another $12,000 this month for her attorney's fees. And she said that she's paid over $100,000 in this lawsuit. And we all know it. So, you know, you want to sit here and act like you're so rich. Well, guess what? You'd be $100,000 richer if you weren't an asshole, right? If you could have just said, okay, you know what, I'll stop this shenanigans. And that's what we're gonna talk about here in just a little bit is kind of how she's still sticking with it. Well, $12,000 a month, $12,000 last month, $12,000 again this month. And I knew it was going to rack up because of all of the filings and stuff, all the motions and stuff they've had to file. And she, you know, she's like, she's just this weird cackle. And she's like laughing about how she doesn't have to pay a retainer. And I'm thinking, bullshit. What do you think the $12,000 is part of? Guarantee it was, you know, come on now. You're not that important, Katie Joy. And she and the people on her panel are like, oh, you know, it's wild. It's weird. You're going to have snow in Wisconsin. Yeah. Her attorneys are going to be the ones that are going to have a great Christmas. They're got $24,000 more in their pocket. Yes. Yes. I was going to talk about that too, Irish. So there's a couple things that she's done this week that I'm coming live because she just drives me crazy. She said in May she paid $60,000 to a lawsuit with Robert Shen. What month are we in? Oh yeah, December, because Christmas Eve is tomorrow. You know, and it changes because, you know, with her, you can't really keep anything solid with her. Hey, balls. Yeah, she's more concerned about being right than anything else. Yep, what a moron. So I hope everybody's getting ready for the holidays. I hope everybody is like stocking up on champagne, just going to enjoy the time with your family. Because I just know that Katie Joy is not, you know, she's just not. And you can hear it when she's on panel. She's just angry. And she'll go from like 0 to 20 in no time. So she's being all sweet and kind, you know, keep tapping, tap, 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 tap. Okay, what's my goal? Everybody, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. And then it's like, the next thing you know, she's angry. You can tell that there's like her people on her panel are just on eggshells. It's wild. Yeah, that's a yes, Renelle. And so that's another thing. So she So, what's her name? Faith. I don't pay much attention to Katie Joy on TikTok. I really only pay attention to Katie when it comes to 7M. But I watched some of her lives from, thanks to Llama, as usual. She's recorded them. And so I watched the lives from last night and the night before. And so the night before, she talks about James. And that's what I'm just going to play a short snippet of that. But I think it was that one as well. And she's talking about, because they're talking about how rich they are and how nobody should really mess with them because they can beat anybody in court. I'm sure that 7M's attorney would love to hear that one. And yeah, she's going to spiral. She is spiraling. That's what's happening, right? And so you could tell. So then all of a sudden, Faith says, "Well, you don't want to mess with me, or you can't." What did she say? Like, insult me or put me down, or you can't hurt me. You got to remember, I paid cash for a $500,000 home. I paid cash for my $500,000 home. And then Katie, you could tell Katie started to like get excited about that. Like, oh my gosh, my mom has money. So then out of nowhere, and this is the shit Katie Joy does, y'all. Gosh, she's just so terrible. So out of nowhere, she's like, yeah, you and your trust fund. So she totally put it out there that that Faith must have gotten her money from her family. She was a trust fund baby or whatnot. And apparently her husband as well. Either he has a separate situation or whatever. And I don't know if this is true. This just, just how Katie made it sound. And that she does it on purpose. And these are supposed to be her friends. These are supposed to be her moderators. Well, they are her mods. They're supposed to be people that support her. And that's what she does. Y'all. Lola B, I hope her son gets everything too. I think that they do spoil him at Christmas. She has to, because it's a show. So she'll show everybody what he got. So she's got to make it good. So it benefits him, I guess, right? Yeah, I saw that too, Unitopia. And hey there, by the way. Yeah, she definitely spiraling. She blocks them and she's like, we don't do MAGA over here. Hey, Nikki. Good to see you. Zuna's in here. Did I say hi to Zuna? I don't even know. Hi, Zuna, if I did not. Yeah, I did. So she basically called out so that well, you and your trust fund. And then apparently she also, and I think Renelle did a video on this, right? She clearly is obsessed with Faith and her money and her husband, and was probably looking at her behind the scenes like she does, how she's all creeper and how she stalks everybody and looks them up. And I think that she really, from what I can tell, like I said, Renelle has Renelle, will you put your channel link in here too, please? You can go to Renelle's and check that video out if you haven't. It's up, right? Yeah, because I saw it. Duh. That she's basically saying, something to her like, your husband, this or that. And you could tell that Faith was really uncomfortable because you could tell that Katie was like digging on them behind the scenes. Yes, Balls, she will, because that's what she does, right? She'll brag about it too. So she'll buy Legos for her son, but she'll put them together. Exactly right, Unitopia. Faith better not say no to Katie. And I really noticed it in the live from 2 nights ago. Like you could feel the tension. Oh, you have no idea how to do that? Do I have another mod in here that's able to? I know that a couple of my mods are out for the holidays. The ones that usually post the links. I'll put it in the description. If somebody reminds me, I always say, oh, I'll put it in the description. And I don't think I've ever done that. Maybe once or twice. Yep, and she'll make a big deal about it when she puts his Legos together. Oh, really, Lulu B? What a creeper. It was weird, like, and I hate to even bring her up, but the bitch that doxed me or whatever, she I'd sent a picture of my husband for something when she and I were friends and talking and all that, and she's like, man, your husband's hot. And I was like, oh, that's creepy. Like, who says that? You'll do it. Thank you. Super. I didn't mean to click on that, but thank you. So we'll put Renelle's channel link in here. But yeah, at first, and I was so taken aback, and that was at the moment where I kind of started to turn, like, who would say that to somebody? So yeah, so Lula B says Faith seems surprised that KJ knew that he has tattoos and is buff because she never told him. It's creepy. It's creepy. And she probably has something on them, and I'm sure Faith knows at this point that if she has something on them, she's stuck. KJ can't read social cues. No, she cannot. She cannot read a room. Between her and Michelle, y'all, anybody in here that follows Michelle, have you seen the nonsense that's been happening with her this past couple weeks? It's unreal. Yeah, Utopia, she does. She absolutely is going on this like she's won this lawsuit. Like, she thinks that being called sandwich is a flex. You realize why they call you sandwich, right? No, she absolutely cannot read the room. All right. So yeah, I know. I know how you operate. And I get that. Like, but I'm telling you, in my situation, it was really creepy and weird. And I think that's probably how Faith felt. Like, what do you mean you're talking about how buff my husband is, what he looks like? How do you know what he looks like? You've obviously been creeping. Yeah, like, you go, girl. Woo, how'd you score that? Yeah. Yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference. Ginger, yes. So Lola, which is one of Michelle's dogs. We won't talk much about Michelle because I don't know if many people in here follow her, but her Lola passed away. Lola was in Beezer's care. Beezer used to be a mod. I think she still might be a mod on my channel. But it's a very long story. Now, I See What You Can't. So if anybody wants to post that channel link too, I See What You Can't has done videos and kept up with it for this past week. But yes, Lola passed away while she was in Beezer's care. Turns out that she had hookworms, which was completely preventable, but she had them for so long that it ate up all her red blood cells, made her anemic, and it really affected her organs, and they all shut down. And now I know, poor Lola, and she's blaming Beezer, which Beezer, look, Michelle never took the dog to the vet, clearly. Okay. She says she did. Beezer spent a lot of time and money on this. I'm worried about Beezer because when you have an animal pass away in your care like that, it's very upsetting. It's traumatic. And Michelle is calling her a schmurderer, and that she actually said, y'all, the other day in her last live that she poisoned Lola. Beezer poisoned Lola because she didn't want to bring her back to me ever. So Lola did pass away. There's an issue with Jake. Jake is her other dog. So she just goes and gets ivermectin for him from Tractor Supply, which, look, I've treated my goats with the ivermectin. I would never give it to my dog without, because look, if Lola died from hookworms, Jake has been exposed to it. He clearly more than likely has them too. And you've got to go get him checked out because it could be at a stage that, that ivermectin, or even, just the typical thing to kill worms, won't work. So they're not even taking him to go get a full, examination. And it sounds like they gave him a double dose, like so close back together. From what I remember, if you're going to treat with ivermectin, it's like 2 weeks in between, maybe 7 days, but I think it's 14. And I'm sure it depends on the type of worms and what kind of animal, but it's not straight back to back. Utopia, well, she will try, but it won't go anywhere. I mean, how many times does she say, like, every time I see her, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going down to the courthouse, I'm going down. She won't follow through with anything. She can't. She admitted the other day that she wakes up and drinks till she passes out. And then when she wakes up again, she drinks till she passes out. I don't think she eats. She's in a horrible state. She couldn't take care of her animals. She said she was going to rehab. That's why she sent Lola to Beezer. Thank you, Lula B. There's more than ivermectin required to treat. Well, they weren't heartworms. They were hookworms. And from what I understand, and we'll switch off of Michelle here in a second, but it's just unbelievable. Again, I feel so bad for Beezer because Beezer put time and money into a lot of money into it, but time. I don't think Beezer cares about the money. It was the I'm taking Lola off your hands so you can go to rehab. I know she's sick. Michelle keeps saying Lola had cancer. That's not true because Beezer did not get a diagnosis for cancer. It is rock bottom for her. How many times have we thought she'd hit rock bottom though? And she's fucking there again. It's like she did what? She won't watch him. And I think that she gave him the wrong, it's not the right thing. And you know, so she said she was going to treatment, but prior to that, she was like, Lola has cancer. I'm probably gonna have to put her down. Like she's not doing well. And then, and then Beezer said she would take her and help her get the vet care she needed while Michelle went into rehab. Of course, Michelle's not in rehab. I know, Beach and Beth. I mean, I feel so bad. My heart goes out to Beezer. I don't know all the story. I don't really know all the details. You know, it's not my business when it comes to that. Beezer will tell it when she wants to tell it. And I know that she and Tragic are very close. I know Tragic has said a lot too. So you can visit Tragic's channel too, if y'all are interested and haven't caught up with it. But, so when Beezer took her to the vet, she found out that it was hookworms and say that she's had them since May or June. And at that point, they had done so much damage to her body. I think that her, her organs gave out. I don't know all the details. All I know is that she is gone. And then Michelle had the nerve to ask Beezer to pay for her cremation. So anyways, it's unbelievable. It makes me so angry. You know, with my animals, if my animal, Lola is a corn corn queso. Why can I not think of it? But she's a rot mix and a y'all, for real. Maybe I have hookworms. Yeah, hookworms and they're very preventable too. Thing, Wolfie, is that she's a cane corso and rot mix, right? So she's a big dog, and she had lost 50 pounds while she was in Michelle's care. 50 pounds. She just watched her do it. When my dog any of my dogs turn their nose to a treat, I'm freaking out for 24 hours. And if they're not eating in 24 hours, they're going to the vet. Okay, I was corn queso, y'all. That's what the new anyways. So we'll go back. We're going to switch back over to Michelle, but I mean, back over to Katie, but that's, y'all, it blows my mind. I feel bad for Beezer. It happened in Beezer's care. And you know, and I'm sure Beezer would have paid for the cremation if Katie, if Michelle hadn't been sitting there insulting her all this time while she had her. It was really bad. What it does to me, what it shows me though, is the state that Michelle is in. Her mental health is so deteriorated. She's so drunk all the time. She's just in a very bad place. Very bad place. Very bad place. And I have a feeling she's doing to herself the exact same thing that she did to Lola. And the irony is creepy. So let's switch back to Katie. Yeah, I was trying to watch a lot of what Llama had recorded, and a lot of it I couldn't. But so I need to play this because this is what got me, and someone brought it to my attention. If you can't hear it, I'll play it a second time. Let me turn the volume up. Okay. So 2 nights ago, she went live, and she said, I'm going to play this in 3 parts.
It's Miranda. And he was a kid when he started doing this into adulthood. So fun fact, James Derrick, you know, the 7M thing? It's Miranda. So before he was in a cult, he was in the Crips. So he went from the Crips to a cult to a cult.
Could y'all hear that? She said, and this is not proven, and I do not believe this to be true. She said that James Derrick was a member of the Crips. You know, like the Bloods and the Crips. Anyways, I'm just reading chat, y'all. Sorry. I'm like, because I switched over to Katie Joy real quick, and I know in chat we're still kind of talking about poor Lola, which she deserves to be talked about and just loved, sent love. I feel terrible. It's awful. Oh, Lulu B, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I had a friend die from alcoholism. It's terrible to watch that happen. And honestly, I don't see, if Michelle doesn't get into detox immediately, I mean, it's weird. It's like the irony for me is like, I really do feel like she's doing the same thing to herself that happened to Lola, and not intentionally. It's just the irony of it all. But I'm going to play that again. Oh, wait, it's not banners. Because she actually said this about James Derrick, and then I'm going to play the second one. I'm going to play it again. Let me know if you can't hear it.
Married to Miranda. So before, and he was a kid when he started doing this into adulthood. So fun fact, James Derrick, you know, the 7M thing, married to Miranda. So before he was in a cult, he was in the Crips. So he went from the Crips to a cult to a cult.
Yeah, it does sound like something a racist Karen would say, and that's exactly what this is. She's racist. So let's hear what she says next. That's a good point, Abriana. He would have tattoos somewhere if that was true. She does need to leave everyone alone, Cindy. I'm sure it was all sent to Amber Unitopia. All right, so let's see. This one's a bit longer. And the way that I'm doing it, I have it as an overlay, so I can't stop it while it's going, but they're no more than a minute each. Y'all.
Yeah, he was in the Crips. He did, I don't remember, he wasn't doing anything. He was like a barber.
Barber? That was his career. You couldn't even run rugs. He was a barber.
I don't know if he was a barber, but he didn't do any of the bad stuff. Like, they get different jobs, I guess. I don't know. They get different jobs. Like, that's what he did. Or I can't remember if he was a barber or if he did something, but he wasn't like doing the bad stuff.
I picked the job of law-abiding citizen. Does that make me cool?
So he was in the Crips, then he joined a cult, then he went to another cult. I'm talking about James Derrick from the 7M. A lot of those guys actually were around the Crips. They're from South Central Los Angeles. So
Yeah, he just wanted friends.
that's just like where they live. Like if you talk to like the people that he grew up with, like that's just what those neighborhoods are. So that's why some of those kids got into dance, because it was like you either were like an athlete or in the gangs, right? And so a lot of those kids ended up getting into dance to get away from the gangs, because like there's not a lot to do there, and the parents are like gone all the time, and it's like very poor. And James's mother ended up in a coma. He's just like, I talked to his ex-wife. He's got a child, but he's like abandoned basically.
So in all of that, he was in the Crips, y'all, but he was a barber. Okay. He didn't do the bad shit. He was a good gang member. Y'all, I swear to God. Anyways, and then she ends it with, he has a son that he has abandoned. And that's not true, y'all. That's not true. Okay. And does he see him as much as maybe some dads see their child? Are there other factors involved in this? Yes. But he does see his child. Okay. So anyways. Yeah. All gang members do bad stuff. That's how they get in. Okay. So let's go to the third one. Team Miranda and James Derrick, for like, seriously. She really is effing stupid, Nikki. I mean, shaking my head, right? Well, I mean, what? Vaughn's going to be a dancer in a game. I mean, here's the thing too, y'all. So like, well, just the whole, okay, well, we're going to get to that in a second. Look at me squirreling away, right? I'm going to try to I'm trying my best to focus and stay on topic. She is a totally ridiculous person. Okay. So basically, she said he was part of the Crips. So, you know, but he was a barber, or he did something that just wasn't bad. But, you know, but she knows because she talked to his ex-wife, and his ex-wife is the mother of his child that he's abandoned. There's more.
It's just so sad. Optimistic, really controlling. But she said he's also like, she thinks he has autism.
Like easily influenced, or like, is that where she's going with it?
Yeah, like manipulative, like he has religious OCD, and he has like mental deficits. And like her son is a lot like him. Everyone that you meet, that you talk to about James, they will always tell you that he's this kind of don't know how, they say he's like slow, but that's like them being from like that community. So it's like weird because like getting your kid help when you're like in that community, they just don't do that. Like they don't take their kids to get those diagnoses because they don't want to get the kids like, they don't want CPS on their radar. They just don't want to deal with it. He's easily influenced.
So now, so she's saying he was part of the Crips. Well, he was, okay, and then he went into the first cult and then the second cult. You know, the cult that she's claiming he was in prior, it was a religious organization. Okay, call it what you will, Katie Joy, whatever. Yeah, Katie, just let's just pink moments. KJ, shut up. Right? On point. That's all we need to say. Katie, just shut up. And so then she goes into, well, he has a child that he's abandoned, and then he's slow, y'all. So now she's saying that he has a diminished mental capacity, basically, that maybe he's on the spectrum. She thinks that he has autism and he's slow. And then from there, she starts talking about, you know, gang stuff or whatever. And then she compares Robert Shen to Jim Jones again. And she states all of this as a fact. She states all of this as a fact. That's the problem. That is why she is being sued. She's not saying, oh, you know, well, you know, it's my opinion. No, she's stating this as a fact. And I'm pretty damn sure that, that with what she's saying about him as a fact, that he was a gang member of one of the, you know, everybody knows Bloods and Crips, right? If you're in the US and outside of the US for the most part, especially my generation, right? How is that not defamation? And you're continuing on with it. She really does. Whoever said it earlier, I believe it was Wolf, that she really thinks that she's already won this. So she just keeps just doing this shit. Solitary Nana, I don't know much about her son and what. Oh, I do. I mean, we do. We know a lot about her son, right, Balls? Because as all she does is talk about her son. But don't you dare talk about her son. And that's where, when it comes to all those kind of things, Balls, who's in here, she's got that. She covers it very well on her Instagram page and on X or Twitter. And so, you know, we're not supposed to talk about her son, but we know what his IQ is. Okay. And we know every surgery, and they always seem to kind of differ in how she says it. I don't want to talk about her son ever. This is the most I've ever talked about him. I hope he has a Merry Christmas. We'll leave it at that. Michelle, are we talking about Michelle? Or are we talking about Katie Joy? Because it does go for both. I think Katie Joy has a serious drinking problem. And she got onto, what was it? That's what's been going around. Or somebody recently, if Renell's still in here, she'll know. Balls might too. Somebody else might as well. Nikki might. But there's somebody that she got onto recently that she got into a big spat with because they had said that she's an alcoholic. And she's like, they're lying. I'm not an alcoholic. I beg to differ. I've never understood why KJ, let's see what Sherry has to say. I've never understood why Katie is harassing the Derricks like this. Me neither. And I've done so many videos, like I cannot wrap my head around it. You know what they did to her, in my opinion, Sherry? What they did to her is not listen to her. Y'all, she is the cult expert, right? She is the expert in all things cult. So the fact that they didn't listen to her pissed her off. And I think that's why she's going after James like this. Like, how dare you? Because I think she knows that this lawsuit. Okay, so you're talking about Katie. Don't follow Michelle. Don't follow the other Michelle. You're good for not. Look at you square in the eyes. I'm telling you, don't. I'm just kidding. It's a hot mess. Don't talk about my son. You see so many posts like that on Paul's channel or page. So it was she. Okay, so what is Sheena? Okay, so now we're going to get into this whole Sheena thing. So Sheena, okay. I wasn't really sure. Unitopia, thank you for that. I don't, like I said, I don't really follow her much when it comes to her TikTok. I cannot handle it. I can take it in doses, and that is why. And I need to post Llama Girl's Twitter. Particularly her buy her. Let's all go buy her coffee, y'all. Seriously. If it weren't for her, 7M wouldn't have the stuff they have on Katie Joy. all this stuff wouldn't be documented. I mean, Balls and Renell and a lot of people, and Nikki, a lot of people are able to catch it, but not like Mama. She catches every single thing, everything. And so, but thank God she does. And then I can take it in doses, right? Because, you know, on TikTok, those lives don't stick. So, you know, I'm able to go back and see what, and I couldn't even finish listening to it. So Sheena apparently had said, you know, these things about Katie Joy, which in my opinion are truth, but whatever. She's an expert in all things bitch. She is, man. You know what, Katie Joy, you do excel at something in life. You do. You are an expert in how to be the biggest bitch, creepy motherfucker there is. That's what you're good at. Thank you, Nikki, for that. You were right. I want the connection to how KG went after Dash. Is that, oh, hold on. Did I just, hold on. Hold on a second, y'all. I saw something. Jay, was that a question or a statement? Let me see. Want the connection to how Katie Joy went after Dash and Miranda. I don't know if that's a question or, but you know, like I said, I've done so many videos, and I know that some of the people in the chat have as well, and there's other channels too. I've never understood why she goes after them the way that she does. I just really, hey, punk rock hippie, we're just talking about Katie Joy. We did talk about Michelle and the situation with her for a little bit. When Miranda didn't listen to her family, her sister heard about the lawsuits against Shen from the Lees, and they posted the video pretending to be worried. You know, Jay, you know, there's so many things. If you look back, that there's more than just, oh my God, we're worried about my sister, so we're just going to make this cry fest video, right? And make it all about us. And you know, in a situation like that, you know, a family is worried about their sister, their daughter, you know, they're worried about their loved one, and they're going to go live and they're going to do that. But, you know, it's been so long now that I just sit back and go, how do people even support this? How do people believe this? And it makes sense, you know, but keep in mind too, that lawsuit, that this was kind of, that's what Katie used as a backbone for her whole entire story. Really interesting. See, I mean, and that's the thing about being able to do this, like as a community, and having people kind of involved in this, is that you see how many people have followed this for so long and have been around. And so KJ saw that video, reached out to them. Yes. And I was in the live when she asked them to email or do, yeah, you know, and she saw that. She says in her, what she says in her declaration, her recent declaration, is that a subscriber reached out to her. So Jay, you can let me know if this is different. She says in her declaration, so sworn under oath, right, that a subscriber reached out to her and told her about the video. And then, you know, I think there was always kind of confusion who reached out to who, but I think we all knew Katie reached out to them. And then this whole thing started. How they still support Katie Joy blows my mind. I cannot wrap my head around it. And just how she, you know, how she treats them. And it's because they didn't listen to her, and they're still not listening to her. And I really think that she knows that she's screwed in this, y'all. So today is the 23rd. In case y'all didn't know, I'm just letting you know what date it is. So today's 23rd, and with this summary judgment, so everything that was filed on the 9th of December regarding the summary judgment, you know, the memorandum, well, you know, Katie Joy's 8,972,000 pages, right? All of those were on the 9th. And then you've got 7M, Amber Stavig, sticking within the guidelines and posting under, you know, under 35 pages. She has no sources in anything she does, right? Nothing. It's her source. We know what her source is. Her source is that lawsuit. Everything around when she started to say all those things in her first lives, which got her sued in the first place. those lives from like the end of February up until April, because she was served on April 5th, right? So, and then the amended complaint came on April 7th when they added James and Miranda Derrick to the lawsuit. So that time between the time that the video came out with the Wilkings and that she was sued, she did all those videos. All those videos, the backbone of those stories and all those accusations and those facts, right? Everything she laid out as a fact, everything she said, she stated as a fact, she got out of that lawsuit. And as a reminder, she did not win that lawsuit. Okay. So those are still all allegations. So how can this not just, she's screwed, y'all. I just really think she is. Reddit is her source. Yeah. I mean, she steals content from other people. We know this too. Why won't this judge get this settlement done? It's gone on for a long time. A lot of times these will anyways, but they did change judges in March of 2023, there was a change in judge. Yeah, the Wilk, even during all this, I had some compassion for the Wilkings for a long time. I no longer do. I'm sorry, just reading. Yeah, balls. It's a lawsuit that Robert Shen won, basically. So with the filings that were on December 9th, they each, submitted the memorandum, and it states, Katie's saying how she didn't do anything wrong. And again, I mean, she's saying that they're misquoting her, that this is obviously the post that they're referring to. When in all reality, no, 7M was referring to one of those lives that I was talking about, those very damning lives that she deleted. They have all that. They submitted that as evidence. Yeah, that's how, and these, yeah. So Katie Joy is basically saying, well, they're misinterpreting what I said. And no, there's no misinterpretation of what was said. What it is that you deleted those live streams. You don't have the links to them, but 7M has a secondary link to it, being, like what Llama would have posted, or somebody else had it and they sent it to her, right? So then 7M is just, they're just very quick in saying this is why this is defamation. This is why this should be awarded to us, right? So each party has the right to respond to the other. And I'm, by looking at it, I'm pretty sure they both will. So it is, but in Minnesota, it's 14 days in front of the hearing that they have to submit their response, right? And so today, if my math is right, of course, tomorrow's the 24th. So I'm sure it's all kind of, so today would be that deadline for them to submit that. So we should see filings at some point, like following the holidays. Like last time when we knew the deadline was on the 9th, we didn't even see the filings till the 11th. And I was like, what? So we'll probably see them later, but there should be a response. So that's another thing about today that I was like, okay, I want to get on here and just say, we should be seeing their response to this. And then the hearing is January 6th. I wonder too, y'all, like, do you think, and I've been told that some people that I've asked don't believe this, and they tend to know a little bit more than I do about it, that, do you think that the Wilkings are afraid that Katie's going to turn on them like she did Christy Blanchard and all these other people? They have to know this, right? I know, and that's the thing. They have to know by now, Jay, that there is no way. I mean, Katie Joy has never exposed a cult. She's never taken a cult out. You know what the cults that she exposed? They're on TLC, y'all. Okay? They are shows. The whole world has seen these cults. That's who she's exposed. She didn't expose shit. They're on TV. Okay? She's never taken a cult down. She's never gone toe-to-toe with a cult leader other than who she says is Robert Shen. She's never done anything, and they obviously took her for her word. Lulu B. My gut feeling is that 7M is going to prevail in parts of it. I think when it comes to summary judgment, I don't think it's going to end at summary judgment. I do think the judge is going to rule in part, and then part of it will go to trial to save time, save money, whatnot. But I think there are some things that they can rule out, but I think there's going to be some things that that the judge might feel needs to go to trial. That's I don't want to, I mean, I just don't know, right? You never know in these cases. Defamation cases are so tough, y'all. And we know what the outcome typically is. She is a YouTuber and nothing more. And she's still, y'all, I'm an investigative journalist. No, you're not, Katie Joy. You are not. You are not. Not even close. You have zero morals, zero integrity, zero experience, and zero education. See, that's, that to me, Jay, there's way more to this regarding the Wilkings and their connection still with Katie Joy. And I'm sure y'all have seen it on, on Instagram or on X. I'm sure Balls put it out. Maybe Nikki has, Renell probably has, where Kelly Wilking very recently responded to Katie Joy when she said she's winning this lawsuit, basically. And that they put in their summary judgment and, that they're awarded a hearing. And then Kelly Wilking is like, I forget, I'm not even going to try to quote it, but she responded. And I'm like, how can you not know, number one, where this case is headed? But number two, why the support? They dug this whole Wilkings in, and she has all the texts and emails, and she thinks she is going to use the Wilkings to throw them under. But I mean, she does it to everybody. That's what I'm wondering here. Like, are the Wilkings trying to prevent that? I don't know. I've had some people say no, that they just, I don't know. I don't know enough about the Wilkings to make an assessment on that. No journalistic privilege for her. I mean, the judge said that in the order in January over the motions to compel. You have not been deemed a journalist by this court. I know, and she's okay. So targeting, we've never seen her target. You're saying that they are victims, but you're targeting them, right? And then you're drunk while you're doing it. What kind of damage control do you think they've been doing, Jay? Because again, I don't know too much about the Wilkings. I know enough, but I don't feel comfortable really saying much because to me, I've never really covered anything about the Wilkings. But I just assume it just makes sense that there's way more to it. But I just don't know, why they still have support for Katie Joy. This is their daughter. I just don't get it. They could separate from her and still have the same feelings that they have regarding the daughter and the situation they believe she's in. But why the support for Katie Joy, who you see how much hate she gets. You see how much negativity. You see how many people are against her. And a journalist always has, and that's what gets me about this summary judgment, right? When Katie, in her memorandum, she's basically saying, no, they've got this wrong. And then she tries to explain it away. The only explanation there really should be is that here's my source when I said this statement that you're trying to dispute. So here's the statement that 7M says is, defamatory. You're saying, no, you're talking in circles about it when, trying to defend it, when all you need to say is, here's my source that told me, I checked it out. It's 100% accurate. This is not a false statement. And I did not say it with malice. That's the answer that should have been on every single one, because she should have a source that she checked that was 100% accurate, plain and simple. It's not done with malice. These are facts. And she can't. Hey, Jill B. Yeah, they're mad at that. As far as the Wilkings are concerned, when you look at the two daughters, I'm sorry. I see so much more talent and just sincerity and humbleness in Miranda. And I'm sure I'm partial to this because of this whole situation. And I think she kind of carried the sisters. And whenever she decided to separate, it really upset them all. Hi, Nicole. Oh, balls. Always here for the rescue. I tell you, always able to answer my questions. Kelly responded, wow, I wonder what will happen next and how they'll respond, which means that she doesn't know or is playing stupid, that Kelly doesn't know 7M also filed a motion. She knows. I think she's playing stupid. Maybe not. I mean, again, I don't know enough. I'll leave that up for somebody else who has more knowledge in that. Because to me, I've always just, I can't get over how Katie Joy has treated Miranda and James Derrick in this whole situation. Listen to what she just said to him. And for those of you just coming in, I'm just going to play this one more time at 17 seconds or something like that. This is what she said 2 nights ago.
Married to Miranda. So before, and he was a kid when he started doing this into adulthood. So fun fact, James Derrick, you know, the 7M thing, married to Miranda. So before he was in a cult, he was in the Crips. So he went from the Crips to a cult to a cult.
He was a member of the Crips, y'all. In case y'all didn't know that and you're just coming in, she actually said that. And then she continues on to say that, but he was in the Crips, but he was a barber. He didn't do, you know, bad acts. He wasn't a bad gang member. Really? I mean, do the Crips have a barber? I don't know. Does anybody know this? I just need to know. Pisses me off. And then she carries on to say that he's slow, that he's, you know, mentally delayed pretty much, and that some people think that he's on the spectrum. Listen, our son has autism. Like, just because your son has a low IQ in his situation does not make everybody. Anyways, so she's just insulting him. And then she compares Robert Shen to Jim Jones again. I think they were depending. I mean, from what I gather, they were really kind of depending on Miranda to carry the two. Her white supremacy is showing. Yeah, I think she's playing stupid two balls. They know what's going on. How do they not know what's going on? I mean, the defamation never ends. The Crips have their own barber. Yeah, it was James, y'all. Just so you know. A barber? Is James ever a barber? I mean, these are the things. She's stating it with a fact. This is what gets me. She stated he was a member of the Crips. To KJ, all black people are gangsters and drug dealers. I know, Jay. I mean, it just, how racist can that statement be? And then she continues on to say, you know, that he grew up, you know, I believe he grew up in Compton. And so, you know, that equates to, and then she says, was that on that clip that I played? She basically says that in the area that he grew up, you're either an athlete or a gang member. And those that couldn't be an athlete turned to dancing. Okay. Or a barber, I guess. I guess you just be a fucking barber for the Crips, right? Or maybe the Bloods. I mean, I don't know. You choose, right? You just get to choose. It's just what is wrong with her? And then she said that these parents, because the demographics and the conditions that they live under, they cannot afford, nor are they willing, some aren't willing to take their child for a diagnosis, her word. They're not willing to go in and have their child assessed. Right. So James is autistic because Katie Joy just diagnosed him, and his mother or father couldn't. Well, I mean, okay, back then they couldn't because they didn't have the means to do so, or the mental capacity themselves to do it, because, you know, they're in poverty, and he's a gang member. What the hell is wrong with you, Katie? That's why I want the one reason I want this to go to trial. I want to see what happens with her on the stand. That cannot go well. Did James live in each other? Yeah, I'm sure. Probably because she's so racist, she'd probably say even less than that, because I think that's only for white trash. I mean, my God, I just can't get over I mean, how can you sit here and say that with such certainty? And you know, 7M's attorney is going to be like, what? Really? Because you're stating it as fact. I mean, look, we can look at demographics and we can see all about those areas and how they operate, as far as what education level we get at. What is the income in the family, combined income of the family? You know what I mean? We can see all those in demographics, right? We know there's certain parts of the United States, but just because he was raised there and there, you know, doesn't mean that that's what he did. And from my understanding, and I did ask a couple people that have more knowledge of James and Miranda and James's past and everything like that. I did ask somebody, could this have been true? And they're like, no, he he started dancing professionally at the age of 17. And that, you know, he was part of another organization, another church, religious organization that many deemed a cult. Okay. Cindy, it is sad. It's interesting. It's sad. It's terrible. I feel so bad for Miranda and James. Good, Unitopia. Because she doesn't, she cannot sit firm in any facts of anything. Right? I mean, she'll say that she has, you know, a motive or like this direction that she's going, and she's going to be this, you know, she's going to, and it never sticks. It never comes true. And then she'll just, everything she says eventually just diminishes everything she would say about how she's a feminist. And then she'll come back. I mean, it's the biggest flip-flop ever. Petty theft was the existence of his record. I mean, yeah, I see. I don't think that you know, and then she says, you know, also that everybody that knows James says that he's slow. What I've heard is everybody that knows James says he is a wonderful human being, and he's very kind and very witty, and but you know, just keeps to himself. He's an introvert, more so, right? Yeah. Even with Flawless Nina, I mean, you see it. You see, I mean, I don't care what Katie says. I mean, it's very clear. Katie's only a victim when it suits her. Yeah. Oh, you know, and then here we go. What does she do? Is Balls still in here? Balls, are you still in here? Nikki, are you still in here? Y'all know this, and all y'all others. I just know from your posts and stuff that I see. That's why I'm calling Nikki and Balls. Hold on. What does she do whenever life's getting rough? Well, how do we always know when shit's about to go down for Katie, or she's having, you know, something's not right? She knows something's not right. What does she do? Yeah, she posts about her animals. Hold on, let me move that comment so you can see it. I don't even know if you can see it. I gotta get close because my eyes. How did this cat end up delivered by Amazon? Oh my God. And then she'd be like, just kidding. Really? Really? Are you kidding? That's a joke? That's a joke? No. Oh, you're so funny. Yeah, her cat. So whenever I see posts regarding her son or her animals, I'm like, yeah, she's struggling. We all know it. We all know it. So this whole situation, so she did that regarding James. And another thing she did is doxed the ever living, you know what, out of, is it Shireen? So she puts a picture of this home that this woman lived in. Oh, Sheena. Sorry, I had that wrong. Sheena, cute trailer. Looks like there's enough room for Gypsy and Ken when she's off parole. So thoughtful of you to think of her. How freaking cringe is that? But do you remember this when someone posted a picture of her house where she threatened Balls and Robert Shin? She also threatened her neighbors their dog was going to bite them, but they have cameras all around the house. How dare you take a picture of Katie Joy's house? How dare you put a picture of Katie Joy's house up? But you're going to do it to Sheena. And she doxed her in many other ways. So this is the only thing I'm going to put up. And so she puts this up and she says it's because Sheena is using Katie Joy's picture as, you know, her avatar or whatever, like her. And Katie Joy she's used Breeze. She's used Gypsies. She used Robert Shin the other day as her avatar, whatever you want to call it. Home shaming is so disgusting. And then she's like showing pictures from the listing and the toilet lid was taped down. And so she's insulting them for that. And there's reasons for that, I'm sure. I don't know if it has to do with the plumbing. I don't know if it had to do with, I don't think it was really like a sanitation thing, but it might've been like if they were winterizing the house. But that's where Katie says they're not winterizing that house, because she asked her panel, what is this about? And they said, well, maybe they're winterizing the house. Oh, no. Then why can ask? Why ask? Sherelle in old days, Sheena now. Why even ask if you're going to correct them and tell them basically they're dumb and they don't know what they're talking about? And so then she goes on and on about how gross this house, how trailer. It's not a house, y'all. It's not a house and it's not a home. Those were her words. This is disgusting. Who could live in this trash? Oh yeah, this person. And then she's like, you know, I've never seen a listing like that. That's so gross. It's so it's going on and on and on and on. And then she, now go if Balls has it up on Instagram. You can see all the posts that Katie Joy made. I want to say she did it on her Instagram stories. It might have been on Twitter. It's not up anymore, wherever. Balls has it, of course. You can go there and see it all. I'm just not going to do it on here. But she was pissed off because she said she's using her avatar. But then also she said that she was going after her mod Faith, the one that we were talking about earlier, that she was going after her mod Faith. And turns out they weren't talking about that faith. They were talking about a different faith. But Katie Joy isn't willing to admit that she was wrong. And she's just going to keep all that information out there. And she's just going to keep going after this person. Even though we've been told that she was told that they weren't talking about the faith on her panel. They were talking about another faith. Then they said, well, then you still need to take our picture down. Who's the cult leader here? Because Katie Joy had 2 people on her panel with Sheena's picture up. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. I don't even know who this person is, to be honest. Again, I don't follow the Gypsy Rose stuff. I can't. This is enough for me. I've got a life outside of all this. I choose, you know, I follow the stupid Michelle stuff sometimes, but not nearly like I did. And I can't follow everything Katie Joy because I will go insane. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, I'm certainly not I don't think anybody in here is a supporter of Gypsy, right? But I mean, 2 wrongs don't make a right. It doesn't make you right. I mean, you don't get to just, how many people has she doxxed since June? We know that she doxxed Miranda and James. She doxxed Don, or is it Dan? Dan from, you know, Gypsy's past, put out his social security number. She's doxxed so many people recently. Drama sells and she needs money. Well, yeah, she's got to pay that. I mean, she's already $100,000 in. Self-admitted. She just said that 2 days ago. No, she'll never be able to admit that she's wrong. She never has, and she never will. Gypsy is so boring, and they make it very, because she had a couple conversations with Christy, who she claims is her best friend. You know, she's sitting here and she's got these people on her panel and they've got this woman's picture as their profile pic. And they're like, we're not taking it down until you take Katie's down. We're here for Katie. Is that not cultish? You're sitting here in the same breath saying that Bree's a cult leader while you have all these people that are doing the same shit for you. Come on. So they're not going to take their picture down of this person until she takes Katie's picture down? Are we in fucking grade school? Yeah, that's right, Unitopia. That is when I started covering Katie. That's when I started talking about Katie and started making videos. That was the thing for me. Everybody has a different story, and it's always fun to see, like, what made you start talking about Katie Joy, right? Everybody has a different story, but that's what did it for me during the Brian Laundrie thing. And she took a picture of within the media, there was a picture of this Mustang that was Brian Laundrie's. And it had a license plate number, obviously. So Katie Joy looked it up. Well, the 0 and the letter O, she got mixed up. And she doxxed a poor woman who was a nurse who had nothing to do with the situation. It was awful. And guess what? That picture and that post regarding this person is still on her page, y'all. It is still on her Instagram. She never took it down. It's still there. Can you tell it makes me mad? This is the shit she does to people. Yeah, the people on her panel, Jay, I'm like, whoa, y'all need to go get your brains checked. So, sorry, I'm just reading chat because y'all, anyways. So, person like, two awful people go after each other. That's true. It is kind of fun to watch two awful people go after each other because like it's like a tennis match, but you don't really care who wins, I guess, right? Does Katie pay for Shin's legal fees if she loses? It could be granted, but that's not a stipulation, and it's not like I know in some states with certain judgments within that judgment per the law, you're required to pay legal fees, whatever. That's not a stipulation here. I don't even know if that would be granted. I don't think it would be granted, to be honest. I think this is going to be strictly now. If she does win, she'll request it. I guarantee you. She's already said that. But will it be granted? I don't know. I don't think so. But TikTok is so dangerous. Man, I've seen some shit on here lately where I'm just like, this cannot be the world we live in, y'all. And it is. And I guarantee you, I don't see half of the crap. Yeah, I remember when she reached out to Brian about that. I was like, and you could tell at first he thought she was legit. And then he realized that she was so full of it. And he backed away. And it was a really weird situation. Oh, now Katie, when it comes to fees, yeah, there's a lot that that's what the whole bulk of whatever they decide the damages are. She'll be responsible for that. But do I think that she'll be granted attorney's fees if 7M loses? I don't think so. When they called her out. Yeah. It's funny to see the people that have called her out. Yeah, Unitopia, I'm telling you, with TikTok, Lisa Richards. Y'all, another one that I watch is that Lori. What's her last name? I know it, I just can't think of it. Y'all, my brain is doing something weird today. I can't think of shit. I called a cane corso earlier. Corn queso. There's so much on TikTok. I'm like, what? This is why you're not on TikTok, Brianna? I'm not on it because I don't think I could handle another platform. And plus, I'd probably get confused. I just didn't ever find any interest in it either. Oh, she won't get her legal fees reimbursed. Well, I mean, there's no telling where this is going to go, y'all. That's the thing with this. Is like with defamation. I mean, sometimes we're like, oh, I mean, look, I always have to just remind myself about Casey Anthony. Okay. Everyone was 1000% sure, oh, she's going to be found guilty. And then she wasn't. So, and then you look at defamation cases and they're tough. I do think that this has, because of the tortious interference, that, yeah, it's stronger, but I also think that there's a lot of things that Katie Joyce said with actual malice. And I think that 7M has a very good argument on that. I do. Yeah, I've seen on Nikki's channel, she covers Lori. Yes. And a lot of times, like on Mickey Mouse fan, she gets all the lives, and that's another one to go if anybody's interested in some TikTok drama. But sometimes I watch Nikki's. Oh, I'll watch Nikki's a lot, but I'll even watch Mickey Mouse fan, and then I'll go watch Nikki because Nikki makes me laugh, y'all. It's awful, Lulu B, the Lisa Richards thing. And I know that Charlotte, who I don't know if she's going live today, y'all. She hasn't been feeling well. And I haven't heard from her today. And Mama T's not in here, and Blake's not in here for me to ask. It's just too much over there. But, with Katie Joy on there, the people that she has on her panel it's just all toxic. It's gross. They're scared of her. They're terrified of her. You can see it. I don't care I don't care what they say. They know, you could tell when Katie's like, she gets all mad because nobody's saying anything, or they say the wrong thing. And then you could tell they're walking on eggshells. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to react. They just get quiet. And then you could tell that they're like shuffling to make her happy. Oh, you don't, Unitopia, like in her, on her channel or in Discord? Are you talking about Charlotte? I did not hear back from her today when I asked her how she was feeling. So now I'm a little worried, y'all. Let's say some prayers for Charlotte and Mama T. I don't see, for Mama T not to be, and Blake. I know Blake. I think Blake had some stuff with holidays, family. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Big plans, y'all, for those of you that do celebrate Christmas. I know some don't. But does everybody have plans for the holidays and that kind of thing? We go to my mama's tomorrow. Oh yeah, backwoods Barbie. She doesn't stop, y'all. Yeah, I mean, and you see that a lot, Jay. Like, Faith will question KJ. Like, Katie will say something, and then she might question it or try to be like, no. And then if they disagree with Katie or whatever, it's so obvious how nervous they get. They do. You can see that they get scared. You can hear it in their voice because they're not cammed up. KJ and Fancy are toxic twins. Bean, are they back on talking terms? Last I heard they were. Oh, Mary, I'm so sorry your family is sick. Are you sick too? I hope not. Somebody has to take care of your family. Oh my gosh. I hate being sick around the holidays. I think it was last year, maybe the year before. I couldn't go to any of it was like 2 years actually, that I couldn't go to any of the family stuff because I think I had COVID or I thought I had COVID or I had the flu or something. Okay. Thank you, Lulu B. Charlotte said, good question. If I do, it'll be around 4:30 Central, which is still another 45 minutes. I'm not going to be on here much longer. You don't have any plans, Nicole Cullen? Yeah, I love Charlotte, Mama Celeste. She's one of my favorite people. I got a lot of favorite people though. Oh, Unitopia, happy belated birthday. I just turned 50 in October. So I feel you. I'm telling you, it's like, what? Number one, how? I remember when I thought 50 was like ancient, like you're one foot in the grave. Like I used to think that 50s are the best, Ginger says. Well, good to know. As a female, I think we got a few issues. Once we get through those, I think we're good. Cat sitting. Oh, how many cats? Did you say 5? Is that what I saw earlier? Bean, we're all look at us all being 50 together. You turned 50 in June. Yeah, I was October. Fancy as Delulu. 50 is nifty. Yeah, we're gonna that needs to be our slogan for all of those that we just said. 65. You turned 57 years ago. I love how you put that. Oh, I mean, that's the thing. It's like before I know it, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember when I was 50 and I thought that was old, So I talked to my parents. I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. My dad's like, well, think about how old I am. If you're 50, think how old I feel. 50 suck, Mary says. Oh no, don't say it. Say it ain't so. All I know is at one point, I think I was in my mid-20s and I had to move back home briefly. And my mom was about my age. And she was terrible going through menopause and everything. And I told my husband, I was like, if I'm anything like her, I'm so, you might want to go build you a loft in the barn. Just you. Probably don't want to be around me for a good couple years. December 2nd. Happy birthday, Nicole. Mary says she wants to be 30 again. I enjoyed my 30s. 30s were really good for me. Is Nikki still here? Oh, I don't know. And I didn't know about that. I don't know, Jay. I haven't seen her comment in a bit. I think she pops in and out. You still feel 19. There's times I feel young. Lula B50 is hot. And hot in the hot flashes, right away, right? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we just didn't do anything. Like, I don't celebrate my birthday. I never do. I usually go out of the country for my birthday. In the last couple of years, we haven't been able to. And so I usually just kind of like, oh, what birthday? And so I don't ever do much. I don't, my husband is so good to me throughout the year. Like for Christmas, I don't expect anything because I tell him, let's focus on the family because he's so like every day he brings me something pretty much. So I don't, when it comes to my birthday and Christmas, like I don't even think about it because I'm so spoiled. And I'm not just saying this, it's true. I'm spoiled throughout the year. And so for Christmas, we try to focus on the family, but next year, hopefully we'll be gone on my birthday again. And I said earlier, I've already started to plan. We're going to be gone over Christmas. Next year, we'll be in the UK. I wanted to do it this year. It just wasn't right. It's just not the timing. So next year we will. I've already started booking shit. I'm like, done. I hope this next year goes as fast as last year did, because I'm ready for it. But I've already booked another vacation too. So we're going to do more traveling this year. This year I traveled a lot, and my husband traveled for work, but was home a lot. Age is nothing but a number. You are absolutely right. And you look at my father and my grandparents. Oh my God, I remember being like in my 20s, and my grandmother, I couldn't keep up with her. 16 years ago. See, I'm telling you, age is just a number, isn't it? Exactly. And then it's going to be like, oh man, I remember. Like now, I'm like, I remember when I was 30, and I thought that was old. Right? Here we go. Lots of face putty. 5 December. There's December birthdays in here. We had a birthday in the family yesterday. Oh my goodness, Wolfie. See, and that's like last year we did the Toys for Tots on here, and this year I just wasn't going to do it because people are just assholes. But I do that every year. I mean, I have. Oh, you're in the UK, Tripping Gauntlet. Every year I really like to give to those that don't have, and my husband's real supportive of that. And last year we did it on here, and it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of fun, and I matched everything that we got. So anything that came in, I matched it. It was a lot. And we did a lot. We had so many presents that we gave last year. I did what I could this year. I still did a lot, but so in the UK, well, so my husband proposed to me in Wales, which in Monmouth. And so I'm actually thinking that it was so fun because he proposed to me in this old castle in Skinford, which is outside of Monmouth. And so we went back to stay. And when we were staying above the pub, and when we went in there and said, hey, he just proposed to me. When we checked out the next morning, they actually had a congratulations card for us. That's the thing about the UK too. You go in there, they have cards for every account. We do in the US, but not like over there. I love to go look at the cards there. You see, like you can go in there and you can find a 100th birthday card. Almost in every card shop, you will find a card for somebody who was 100. Okay. And, but anyways, so they sent me, they signed it. They gave me a congratulations card. And so I told my husband, I was like, maybe we should go there for Christmas and stay there. But we'll also take the channel. So we'll be in England. I just don't know what, probably the Cotswolds, and then skip over because it's an easy drive because we rent a car. So we drive. Stay out of the sun. My whole life was in the sun. I have so much damage from the sun that that's why I tell people all the time, stay out of the sun. You do not want to go through what I've gone through with my skin. But anyways, so I think, I've been to Paris a few times. I'm not a fan, but I really want my husband to go because the architecture. He's a huge history buff, but when it comes to architecture, that's his thing, right? So I think we got to figure it all out. But if we go to Paris, let me for a couple of days, we'll take the channel. So we will spend time in probably Cotswolds, and then go over into Wales. Anyways, that's it. That's what we'll do. Let's send, for those that are the praying type, let's send it. And that's another thing too. We get caught up a lot of times in where we're at with our personal lives, and we forget that there are a lot of people that struggle during the holidays. You can have people that are 100% healthy, year round, and then something happens, and then we get here and everybody focuses on what's going on in their family, that sometimes we forget about sending those prayers to those people that really, really need it, especially this time of year. It is, Wolfie. Lulu B, I mean, that's the thing. People always said, stay out of the sun. My business was in the sun. That's what I did for 7 days a week for years. And my skin's pain. I've had health issues because of it. We'll just leave it at that, because I just don't want to put it in the universe, because I don't need it to come back. So let's say, prayers for those that are having a hard, because I know that when I was younger and I wasn't married and I was living away from my family, I'd go have sushi on Christmas Day. I loved it. And I'd talk to the bartenders if they had to work or whatever. I'd sit up at the little sushi bar, It didn't bother me at all. People are like, oh, it's so sad. And I'm like, no, it doesn't bother me. It's quiet. It was fine for me. But I know some people wouldn't be able to do that. It's just not their thing. Everybody's different. That's what pisses me off about Katie Joy. She cannot understand that people are different. People operate different. People do things differently. It has to be her way. She cannot see that somebody could actually live in a trailer, y'all. How dare them? How could they? Oh my gosh. What a miserable life. She lives in the coldest place in the world. Did y'all not know that? God, she's a fool. Wales is beautiful. I'm glad you enjoy that. Thank you for saying that, Foxy Paws, because I'm always like, oh, I'm such a squirrel. I'm all over the place. If I try to focus on like a document, it's all over. I can't focus. It just doesn't. So what I need to do is I need to take the filings from the summary judgment, Katie's and 7M's, and I need to break it down into a video, because when I did a live on it, it kind of goes all over the place, because I get questions. I want to be part of the chat, and then I get lost. I admit it. I totally cannot focus. If I could just do this kind of thing, I enjoy it, and it's much better. So I need to break down the stuff that, what's within the lawsuit that way. I need to do those kind of breakdowns in a video, and then kind of chit-chat nonsense this way. Oh, you grew up on a boat? Your hubby lived on a boat and grew up in the sun. He's at the dermatologist every few months. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when I was told at 19 that I could never be in the sun again, you'd think I would have listened, but I didn't. You're in Florida. Yeah, I heard it's pretty chilly down in there right now. I mean, like right now, like I went outside in a t-shirt earlier, and I get cold easily. So, I mean, we had some cold weather, and then it got warm. Her whole life is to destroy somebody, isn't it, Jay? She needs to let go of trying to destroy Jana Duggar too. She has these, and same with Sister Wives. Like, who's the one that she's after all the time? It kind of changes. She was after I can't think of her name. The M, Mary. She was after Mary a lot, and then it was Christine, and now, Christine for a bit. She never seemed to have a problem with Janelle, I guess, but she was talking a bunch of shit about Christine on her live the other day, the same live that we were talking about. You grew up going on a boat every summer. So did we. Never wore sunscreen. I didn't either. Lived in the sun till your 30s. Same here. I mean, my God, we used to put freaking Crisco oil on us to tan. We would fry. I had 3rd-degree burns when I was younger, and it did damage to me. But I'm in Texas too, and I'm a water baby. You cannot keep me out of the water. Y'all just can't. Canada. It's colder where I am in Canada from KJ, and I'm not talking about the personality. Oh, and did you see, Jill B, did you hear what she said about Canadians? She said, I don't know why these creators that are Canadian talk about American stuff, or any news outlet, any media, anybody. They have no right to talk about what's happening in America, especially creators, because they don't live in America. They wouldn't know. How shallow-minded are you? Seriously, how small-minded, where that pea brain of yours, that you think that someone in Canada should not be able to talk about what's happening in the US because they have no knowledge? I know, Lulu B, it makes my blood boil too. And yeah, I'm bad with spreadsheets, Jay. I was always been bad with spreadsheets. Even when I had my business, it was like that would have been very beneficial. But yeah, I need to, because there's times where I'm like, and what you're just saying, that's how you kind of pick out the clues and you kind of figure things out. It's like pieces of the puzzle come together, don't they, over time? And I start to hear, like she'll say something or she'll do something, and then I'm like, oh my God, I remember when and then I have to go back to whenever she contradicted or said something totally different. Or it gives you a clue to what she's doing. because there's more going. I think there's still more going on behind the scenes still, y'all. And you know, that's part of it, is like being able to figure out like what is really going on. If you listen close enough, the answer is always there. She can take a snowball and shove it, can't she, Michelle? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Like I said, it's just like, what do you think, that they can't cover us? Yeah, better with the Irish. I can see you like, okay, I need to get with you and be like, okay, help me with the spreadsheet, because my dad is a spreadsheet king, right? Everything's always been a spreadsheet. I'm always like, oh, please don't make me have to open Excel. Total tunnel vision. And it's with all the rest of the world. I mean, my God, like, it's not just the U.S. and it's not just Minnesota, Katie. There's always the answer in there. It's always there. She's still obsessed with Cody Brown. It's wild, isn't it, Nicole? All right, y'all, I'm going to hop off of here. It sounds like if Charlotte does go live, and normally I have mods in here that have Charlotte's information, and they drop the links and stuff, and I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to be honest. And so I don't, she'll probably be on Rumble, would be my guess. And I believe she's, her channel is on the web over there. But those that follow her, I know you'll find her over there. KJ and Gypsy are alike. They can't stay consistent, can't remember all the lies, and are completely diabolical. Katie Joy is extremely diabolical. And I think that her skills are lessening due to substance, whether it's, you know, prescribed or not. That's what I'm going to say. And alcohol. And she has people do her work for her. Let's be very clear about that. She has minions that do this shit for her. And I'm wondering if some of them are starting to figure it out or whatever. And, you know, you can only go so long being a certain way. So I'm going to hop off of here. It was so good to see all of you. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. If you don't celebrate, or you celebrate Hanukkah or whatever it may be, I hope the holidays are wonderful for you as well. And when I had my business in Houston, I learned a lot of my clients, I work with families with children, and a lot of them I was in a very heavy Jewish populated area. Thank you so much, Better with the Irish. I appreciate you. Charlotte on the web, that's her YouTube channel. And you can probably go there and find her Rumble link as well. Yeah, they are frying her brain. And I learned very quickly to not say Merry Christmas to everyone. It's Happy Holidays. There are so many people that just don't celebrate it, or they choose not to for their own reasons. So just Happy Holidays to everyone. I hope it is the best that it can be for you. We'll put the prayers out for those that are in need, for those of us that do pray. And just you and your cat. I'm telling you, Jay, I had a cat for 22 years. She passed at 22, and there were many Christmases that it was just her and I wouldn't go back and change it at all. So enjoy. I will give him lots of love. He is Barnaby Duke. He's a King Cavalier Poodle mix. He is something else. I miss my other little guy that he replaced a lot. The other night I had a really hard night, and it's been over a year. You know, so, but again, 19. Okay. Yeah. Mine was 22. And I'm telling you, Jay, she did not want to go. Her body gave out. Her mind never did. Oh, Angel. And I know that Nikki has, an older cat too, doesn't she? I'm going to say, was her cat like 16 or something like that? And peace be with you as well, Lulu B. Appreciate you. Okay, I'm hopping off. I will see you guys on the next one. I don't know when that will be. Probably next year. Yeah, we got to wait till next year. 23. That's a lot. I mean, 22, 20, gosh. 19 is long. You do something right with your cats. Tell you that right now. Okay, I'm going to hop off. I'm going to go see what Charlotte's up to. Again, I might be on next week if there's nothing going on. I'll try to work on some of those videos, but I can't promise it. Holidays are really crazy. And then the new year, we'll see what happens. So you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And happy holidays. If I don't talk to you before New Year's Eve, be very safe. Very safe, but enjoy. I'll talk to y'all later. See you on the next one, y'all.